All right, shalom, shalom. First, I want to give our honor and praise unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem Chakarash. We say, Barakati Yahweh, Barakati Yahushai, Barakati Yahweh, Barakati Yahushai, Barakati Yahweh, Barakati Yahushai, Bahashem Chakarash. And we give double honors to our apostles and our elders, which is past elders, a great millstone, which feed us with knowledge, wisdom, and understanding through the spirit and power of Yahweh Yahushai. Let's jump right into this video. The title of this lesson is The American Dream is Circling the Drain. Simple and plain. All right. The American dream is circling the drain. All right. We've been telling this has been a ongoing because these elites are moving towards a goal. That's why it says while he's about to eat, the Lord's going to cast fire upon him. All right. Because and a thought came into my mind, the Lord's going to pay back Esau burning for burning. You know, you burnt the Lord's temple going back to 70 AD. All right. With Vespasian, Titus, and Domitian, where you see that triumvirate or that rulership that came into power that took down. That's why you have the commemoration of the Ark of Titus. All right. But the main point is that the Lord is going to pay back burning for burning. All right. You burnt the Lord's temple when you were the Edomites. That's why that's why certain guys that want to bring up the topic of Esau being done away with, that the Lord doesn't remember that and put it in the back burner. That's to show you that they're not really concentrating, because the Lord has to pay back. That's why he says rewarding to the third and fourth generation, all right? To those that love him and those that do wickedly, because all the things you see taking place now is a payback for the bloodshed. He says he's going for the controversy of Zion, all right? Because you touched the apple of the Lord's eye. Now the Lord's going to touch you. He's going to touch the creme de la creme of Esau's rulership has been Babylon the Great. It's been a hammer. That's why the Lord describes this place as the hammer. How is the hammer of the earth cut asunder and broken? So that's the main thing that you see taking place. Just like we as a nation, the nation of Israel, you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, we didn't go down overnight. There was a systematic dismantling of us as a nation, okay? Going back to Jeroboam and Rehoboam, going back to the different things that was happening, even this situation with David, all right, with David and his son Absalom. That was a fracturing of the kingdom. You know, the power structure was waning, okay? So you see the time that we coming into now is a very hectic time, and a very fulfilling time when it comes to the elect being taken care of and being watched over. That's why we pray to be in that glorious number and our treasures that have been stored up in heaven that the Lord remembers, okay? So let's play this. This guy goes into, and this pretty much, he said, a lot of these guys say it a lot, or say a lot what's going on with the situation currently. All right, so let's go ahead and watch this. Lord willing, it's edifying lesson. But the title is that the American dream is circling the drain.
Is to leave America.
They are not sure what the future of America looks like for
fair use. This is for educational purposes only. This is not for any kind of monetary gain. This is just sharing information. So fair use.
themselves or their family.
The new American dream is to leave America.
See, that's a heavy saying. He said, the new American dream is to leave America. So this ain't us trying to be conspiracy theorists or trying to bring out something that's not factual. These are coming from people that are Edomites. They look like Edomites, but we don't know their nationality fully. Okay, but the ones that you will see on this video, predominantly, they look like Edomites. Okay, we got a few foreigners, but these things that are taking place is to fulfill prophecy. But you can see the look on his face is that they really feeling it. You know, Jake knows there's no way for him. There's no way where he can go, because he doesn't have the resources and or the power structure to be, or the power structure to be able to just pick up and move somewhere, because you don't like where you at currently. All right, it's not Jake doesn't have it like that, but these Edomites, and certain of those that are well off or well to do, they've already taken the options. Imagine the ones that have left quietly, that didn't announce their leaving and their departure. All right, especially if they didn't want people to really know what they were doing. All right, so this guy is gonna break it down a little bit, and then we'll stop, pause, get a precept, and just to back up the point, man. You seeing it? This is exactly the curses that was prophesied in Deuteronomy, the 30th chapter, that would be taking place. That it's hugging Esau, uncertainty, windows being darkened. All right, having a losing your land. We were exiled. We were pushed out. Okay.
That's the new American dream. You know, I've been following people on TikTok who have moved to other countries, and this one guy I follow, he moved to Thailand 6 years ago, and he said the number one question he used to always get from his friends was, why are you leaving America? And now, all he hears from his friends when they write him or call him is, how can I leave America?
See that?
It's funny how things have changed so much in 6 years. Not funny. Sad. Really sad how things have changed in 6 years. I mean, this is now the third world country. America is a third world country. Isn't that nice? We all now live in a third world country. Sick. And it ain't getting any better. That's for sure. I mean, people move to these other countries because it's safe. You don't got to worry about bang bang every day, you know, if you got kids. I mean, I don't, but I mean, people that have young children today, like sending their kids to school, you say goodbye to them in the morning and it's like, this really could be goodbye.
And they
healthcare, forget about healthcare. Even before these subsidies go away, you know,
was the great hope.
So many people paying $500 a month, $900 a month, $1,200 a month.
But now that's
last week. Now
that plan
everybody getting these letters in the mail. Their premiums double, triple, quadruple.
They're running.
I was posting, I think, the other day about this girl. She's running for Congress or like a House seat. I forget what state she's in. Anyway,
if you're working from home,
she just got her Blue Cross Blue Shield, and it was up 546%. Nobody could move. Who could pay these premiums? I mean, it's literally, you got to choose between healthcare.
But if you're a type of person that doesn't have it like that,
your mortgage, your rent, or food,
it's going to cost you a savings.
You got to have food.
And then
more than likely, you want a roof over your head, so
find a job, and that ain't going to pay you nothing. Okay,
can't do all three.
Remember that.
So it's going to be healthcare. There's people living without healthcare. God forbid you get hurt, go to hospital, you're done. Your house that you may have owned.
Salakia, all that. I don't know if you caught it, but the mindset is Jake does not have the means to move away from Babylon. It's going to cost you more than what you can drum up unless you got a savings. So this is a setup that the elites are pushing. They're dismantling Babylon the Great, and they're making room for that new financial system. They're almost using Babylon as that sacrificial lamb. Okay? They're using Babylon as a sacrificial lamb to move in this new structure, which is going to be non-dollar dominant, but it can be a digital form of a dollar, but you don't need America to be that top echelon thing with that digital currency, okay? Because it's going to be a worldwide used system. So this guy's saying that, look, hey, you can't do much. You can't do much here, man. All right? And it's time to leave. It's packing up time and finding other places, man.
Well, now belong to them. It's crazy. So, yeah. Sadly.
Being on the cusp of adult, will AI, what is
from the border?
Two guys, like, what the hell?
Well, here we are. It's Friday, and we are just literally minutes away from the border to Canada. as we flee the U.S. Who would have thought at age 60 that this would be our day and our plan and our actions?
Like the whole world was what is the
being portrayed as enemies within and being portrayed as domestic terrorists because we're standing up for what we believe in this country and what we believe is being violated and is going into an authoritarian regime.
Anybody else feel the same way, where you're like overwhelmed and stressing out about everything, but at the same time?
Avocados are basically an investment property.
Okay, guys, there's something we have to talk about because and this is, we can do this as a system, like the place you're turning it cute. Like it's like a computer has broken extra so that I can get cash that I had, which I don't do very often, but I had some cash in my wallet and some change that I want to get rid of. And I've gone to a place and purchased something and gave them like a little bit extra so that I can get a full $1 back versus breaking a bill, and like gave change. And when I tell you the like actual stop that gives this person, like they can't compute. Like it's like a computer has broken down and stalled for several minutes. And this is, unfortunately, I fear turning into an epidemic because we're starting to not use cash.
See?
And
moving towards a cashless society. All right? Digital currency, CBDCs, blockchain. And we welcome it. We welcome it. This is not something that ruins our day. This is a beautiful thing. We didn't have any stake here anyway. The stake we had here was brought here in slavery to serve captivity and to be reduced to a beast and then be taken advantage of, and then the Lord redeem us. That's how he wrote the story. There's nothing we can do about it. We can just live it and be happy that the Lord chose us to be his special people. And we realize that now. We know that now more than ever. When we lost that came with it. Knowing how to use the sounds and different things like that, where you have, what is it called? Where you have the snowflake effect and different things like that have that resonance, okay? But you see the mindset of people is that the cash is getting faded out and it's getting replaced with this new financial system, which is going to infect all life on earth if you use money, because they want that control. And once you have that control of the dollar, control of this finance, they already have it. But once you have this currency that is trackable, programmable, that's going to be the ultimate chain, the ultimate prison. Okay.
And I really think that this is scary. And I just was listening to someone on here the other day saying that we're losing our ability to think. And I understand, like, the places I was at, you know, it's probably not the most adept people in some of these jobs, but you should be able to type the numbers into the system and count change and have it spit back the right number and count the change out. I'm worried that we no longer can do this as a society. Like, the general population might not be able to. It's getting scary out there.
Well, we're looking at leaving.
Leaving, boy.
We're going to look at Canada and Portugal. Those are the two places we're looking. I can't even believe that I have to say this.
Where they have
but
communities for them to be in. Let's keep going.
I'm just keeping it real here. 15, our ghost here. My cousin, my sister who's closest to me in age. And she's a Republican. And she has no idea about what's going on. She's not MAGA, but she's part of the GOP. And like, she does that. I sound just a...
This is not the video. I want this one.
You always wondered why that app didn't exist. Now you can make it. Meet Replit Agent.
We are leaving the US.
Here we go. Let me get some precepts and
Crazy
close.
times.
They
Crazy
terrified.
frickin'
You can
times
see
we're
it in
living
the
in.
eyes, man.
We are leaving the US. We are leaving the US for good.
Like I said, the volume was up. Salakia. I had to get to talking, thinking it can pick up both, but it really can't. So Salakia, if the volume goes in and out. When I play the videos, I'll try to pause it. But the main thing, you can look in their eyes and see that they're uncertain. They're fear prone, they're nervous. That's what was happening to us as a nation. When before we went down, the Lord was telling us, he even said, he said, when you see the abomination that make it desolate, flee. It was a process of time, going back to the Maccabees. All right. There was a process of us being set up, us being established, and then having the situation with 70 AD take place. And you had places like Masada, okay, where you had Palisade, the trenches, the starvation. So all types of atrocities were taking place to us. And that was what was happening in the ancient world. What do you think is going to happen now? It's a different version of it, okay? This digital system and the oncoming separation, that's just the same thing that was happening back then. Like I said, the situation with Jeroboam and Rehoboam, we were split, all right? And we were more vulnerable when you split. If you were big and powerful all together and you start splitting, that's going to cause fragments. It's going to cause a vacuum. They call it power vacuums. Okay, so that's what was the situation with Jeroboam and Rehoboam. That was a power vacuum. And that vacuum escalated to the splitting of the nation. And then when it split, it went down. Assyrian captivity and then the Babylonian captivity. So all those captivities led to us losing who we were and not being able to stand on our twos or our 10 toes. All right, we lost our way, lost our identity, became Gentiles, because it only takes a couple generations, and especially if they kill off the old men and old women. That's a generation that remembers those old times and remember those things. The younger generation doesn't have enough experience with it to be able to. They might remember tips or little things here and there, but they're not remembered enough to pass it on, teach it, or grow in it, okay? So watch this lady say it again, and then I'm gonna get a precept.
Crazy times. Crazy frickin' times we're living in.
We are leaving the US. We are leaving the US for good. We are moving back to India. I've got so many comments, so many DMs, and the number one question is, why are we leaving the US? Multiple reasons, number of reasons of why we are leaving. The first reason is the healthcare system here. The healthcare system is terrible. I have been a victim of this healthcare system once when I suffered a loss. When my kids are sick, also I don't have any great experience whenever they are sick. But with my recent husband's diagnosis that he's got, staying in this country would be very difficult for us. It would not do any good to his health condition, and the healthcare system here is the focus. The focus is on insurance. The focus is on.
See? Now let's get this precept. This is the book of Isaiah 13 and verse 14. Let's read it in the NLT. It says, everyone in Babylon will run about like a hunted gazelle. And you know when a gazelle gets hunted, he's moving, man. He's moving. He's booking it. Running. What do you think is taking place? These people are dipping. They're hitting the road, Jack. And don't you come back. You know, we joking, but that's the reality of it. All these things is the prophecies that Yahweh Shem Yahushua was given to us to warn the people. People weren't talking like this 5 years ago, 6 years ago, 10 years ago. They couldn't, like the first guy, he said, people asked people, why would you leave America? Like there was nowhere else to go. It's like the promised land. Now you got people that are looking to flee. They're looking to jump off. They'll show you that there's this no patriotism and all that kind of thing. It's just madness because they're leaving when the shit gets tough. They're not trying to stand and help fix things or see what they could do, give a helping hand, volunteer some things. No, they out of there. They're out of there because they know in their spirit that this is not their land. Okay? Isaiah 4:13 it's a prophetic land, which is Babylon the Great. This is Isaiah 13 and verse 14, and it says, everyone in Babylon will run like a hunted gazelle, like sheep without a shepherd. Well, and that's what you see, because right now Nero's not leading. It's a divided country. It's a divided mentalities that are going out. There's even in the military, there's divisions and skirmishes going on there that they're not letting the public know about, but it's still going on. You got political, you got journalistic separations, all these things, they're separate everywhere. That's the friction, and the Lord adding that curse and moving the goalposts towards prophecy, okay? That's why they can't get right. They can't do right, all right? It says, everyone in Babylon will run about like a hunted gazelle, like sheep without shepherd, no leader. Take heed. It says they will try to find their own place and flee to their own land. So some of this gonna pick up and say, you know what, nah, this ain't what I signed up for, and leave. And that's what you see taking place now with all this expats and those that are leaving, okay? And it says, Revelation 6 and verse 15 to 17, it says, then the kings of the earth and the nobles, commanders, the rich and mighty men, and every slave and free man hid themselves. It says hid in the caves as among the rocks of the mountains. Damn. So Jake ran into the cave, man. It says, or Salaka, you're going to see a lot of people going into these bunkers, these makeshift survival places, all these retreats. You got a place that's selling nothing but bunkers, all those little things that they think can protect, but it's going to be backfired, man. All right. It says caves and mountains, rocks of mountains, caves and mountains. Salaka. Caves among the rocks of the mountains. Fall on us and hide us from the face of him that sitteth upon the throne, and from the wrath of the Lamb, for great is the day of their wrath has come, and who is able to withstand it? And no one's able to withstand it, because this nuclear weapons, this judgment that's coming is not going to be able to be stopped. See, this is Jeremiah 50 and 16. Cut off the sower from Babylon, and the one who wields the sickle in harvest, which is where you get economics from, growth, okay? And flee ye by my mountain valley, for it is the extents, like Jeremiah. Cut off from the sower from Babylon, and the one while wielding the sickle at the harvest time. In the face of the oppressor's sword, each will turn to his own persons, each will flee in his own way. We know track star, all right, and a joke, he got out of there. But now you're seeing a mindset of those that are in this truth, sticking together, getting stronger. Those that are out, they're trying to flee. They ain't worrying about moving nothing. They just want to flee. That's what you see, the serious things of it, man. All right, so Lord wants that edifying lesson. I'm gonna leave it there. The link, I'll try to leave it, or you can just go ahead and click on this page. Let me see here. Let me see here. This is Isaiah 13 and verse 1. It says, the burden of Babylon, which Isaiah the son of Amos did see, lift up a banner upon the high mountain, exalt the voice unto them, shake the hand, that they may go into the gates of the nobles. I have commanded my sanctified ones, I have called my mighty ones for mine anger, even them that rejoice in my highness. The noise of a multitude of mountains, a great people. So the main point is that judgment is coming, the fire is coming. Yabashim Ashah is getting ready to exhalate these things, which we don't know what is going to be a catalyst for it, but we know it's coming. All right, so Lord willing, edify lesson. I'm going to leave it there. Say, call hello, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Mechach Rash. Until the next time I say Shalom, and more on out and never keep faith. Shalom.